Boom, that's what we're talking about in this video. I remember when I first switched to working from home, nobody knew how to unmute themselves, was the whole thing. And those first few weeks were pretty chaotic. The biggest challenge though, is that communication isn't just the same through a screen. You miss those little cues that tell people that somebody wants to speak, and you don't get to really have the same type of human connection. Don't get me started on those weird, awkward silences when everyone's waiting for someone else to talk and they don't want to interrupt because there's like a delay. It's a whole thing, no one likes that. But here's the thing, remote meetings can actually work better than in-person ones when done right. They save tons of time and money on travel, and they let people join from anywhere. It's pretty cool. I'd like to thank Boom for sponsoring this video. For a great remote meeting, you're gonna need 3 things: a clear agenda, the right tech setup, and ground rules with everyone so that they can follow them. And without these, you're just asking for trouble. But honestly, what I think is more important than anything is how you're looking inside of these calls. Like for me, I look pretty much like what you'd see on camera right now, which is pretty professional. But for the average person, that's just not the case. Unlike typical Zoom or Google Meet setups, whatever product you're using, where your screen name and virtual background are there, Boom allows you to personalize your screen and look more professional. You can use Boom to essentially insert your logo, name, title, and any other details as overlays so that they are always on the screen. You can also adjust camera filters to make sure your lighting and video is perfect. When you are sharing your screen to present, Boom also ensures all eyes follow you and your cursor with cursor highlights, magnification, and other features. Now, I do want to point out when I said computer, I do mean Mac. As you can see very clearly on the Get Boom website, it basically is only available for Mac OS and does require Mac OS 13 Plus. So it is only available on Mac. And this is different because the typical Zoom or Google Meet or Teams call is basic and does not offer any room for customization. You could try using OBS and alternatives, but they're so complicated to install. And all I literally did for this setup was install Boom on my computer, and you can customize your screen and make it look professional with no setup complications whatsoever. To show you some examples of how it works, you can see here, all I've added is a basic background blur, but I can go above and beyond that. You'll see that there is something that says powered by Boom. I can obviously remove that by just pressing delete or moving it around if I want to put it in a certain spot, but I can press delete. I can put my name, like for example, I can put Dimitri Panici. I can put president of Rise Productive, and I can adjust the sizing to this, as you can see it any way I want, like for example, and the font, bolding, italics, all that kind of stuff. So I can put it in Poppins and make it a small text. And I could make it custom and smaller than that, but I could put small as well. Change the color too. I could bold it, unbold it, put it in italics, whatever my preference is, I can make here. I can even turn on and off the visibility, but in here, there are a lot of other things I can do. If I have a green screen, I can turn it on. I could also turn on a virtual background and change it to whatever I want. Like here, I have the background set up to be like this, but I can put an image. I can put pretty much any custom option here, which is obviously similar to what other products use with like the background setup, but these gradients and stuff are essentially going above and beyond. And you can add your own custom image here if you'd like to. It's way easier to set up than other products. So for example, I can pick something like this, if that just suits my style, or I could put in a Rise Productive logo, which is my company, or I can pick any of these color gradients that I'd like to, or I could pick anything on the color wheel I could want here. For now, I'm just gonna stick with a forest. I'm feeling a little bit foresty right now, and you'll see this is what it look like on meetings. I can also adjust the appearance, so I can change the lighting here to be studio, heat, noir, ooh, I'm black and white, retro, ooh, let's do retro and change my background actually, that'd be kind of sick. Retro and make it look like this. Oh no, that's too colorful, come on. Oh, I could be SpongeBob, what up SpongeBob? As you can see, you can have a lot of fun with this, which is kind of the point. It just livens up your meetings. And then on the advanced settings, I can actually change the hue, the shadow, all of these things from myself to make it more accurate and color focused and contrast focused. I also can change the mirroring of my video. I can add padding or unpadding, and I can adjust the sharpness of my video too, which is pretty cool. As well as I can zoom out and in, and I can zoom in on specific sections, like my eyes. In all seriousness though, I can make those adjustments, which is very cool because sometimes just where I'm sitting naturally versus where my computer is, maybe it doesn't need to be in that spot, so we can do that. And then you can also add a border here too. So as you can probably see here, it's saying connect to Boom. So all I need to do in order to connect it is literally, for example, I go to Google Meet, whatever product it's gonna show you how to pick. So let's just go into an example of Google Meet. Let's make an instant meeting. And right here, I can set it up so that my meeting is set up via my video, which is Boom. camera. Now let me turn off the background that I have from Google Meet, obviously. And then, ooh, look at me. Okay, so now what I can do is adjust it a little bit. So Google Meet has like a default try to keep yourself centered function. So that's why I'm a little bit off center. So let's just move me to the center like this. Look at that. Now inside of the Google Meet, I'm in the center. And you'll see right here inside of the Google Meet, I have a little bit of an adjustment capability. All right, I'm looking pretty good. Now, something else that I think is really nice is the capability for you to share your screen in a better fashion using Boom. And by the way, make sure if you had settings like mirror on, you can turn it off so that things work properly. So just FYI, this right here, it'll be mirrored for the other person. So it might look weird to you, but it is going to be mirrored for the other person. So also Boom makes your screen sharing that much better. So let's say, for example, I go to the Boom website and I want to share my screen. So Boom also helps you level up your presentations with more engaging screen share presentations, cursor highlights, magnification, and whatnot. As you can see on Boom, there's a present section. So for example, I just have to press always allow screen recording. I just have to give it access, which always you have to quit and reopen in Mac whenever that happens. So it's really cool here. Check this out. You can add a video overlay of yourself. Yeah. You can put yourself in a different section. It's pretty cool. Center yourself. Okay, look at this. So I can make a basically what looks like a screen studio tutorial, which is pretty funny. And you can select the window. Then I just got to press allow. And then let me select something like the Boom page itself. All right. So as you can see, Boom essentially can turn your presentation from a typical screen share into an exciting streaming video. And you can use Boom to highlight and magnify your cursor when sharing your screen, easily switch context, and use a shortcut to start sharing your screen on any app. I really like this in comparison to what is natural within Google Meet. I think it's a big step above over other options. In addition to the visual improvements compared to Zoom Meet Teams, you can easily access the presentation features like highlighting your cursor instead of having to sift through numerous screens and click through a number of different complicated options. So all I did was press launch presentator mode. And then from here, you'll see that there's this improved cursor, like we just mentioned, which is very nice. And you'll see that now this side over here changes. So for example, you could select this Microsoft Edge right here and share this very easily. And then when you press this, it goes out of presenter mode. There's also really cool emojis that you can press, and there's different GIFs that you can put to liven up your conversations, which I really enjoy. And plenty of different emojis you can just add that are outside of the scope of what you have in your basic Google Meet and Zoom and whatnot. Also, just quick note, there is a quick Zoom or Meet call to mute here and turn off your video as well and turn it back on. Anyone with a Stream Deck can also quickly mute on or off using the Boom plugin on their device too. Gotta love the Elgato screen capture. Now, as you can see as well, I have joined on my Zoom account as well. And what's really cool is if I actually click on this guy, this is what is called the camera off poster. Now this is pretty cool. As you can see, when my camera is actually not showing, when I turn it off and on, basically, it goes from having my actual camera to something completely different. So when I turn it off, you'll see that it has this background. What could I want it to have? It could be, in my opinion, anything that aligns with your company. Like for example, I have my own company logo, but I also have this fun AI avatar of myself. And I could put something text-wise that could express my own personality pretty easily. So I can put the weather, the time, I can change the background as well. It's all pretty fun. And you know, as I mentioned, it was on Mac earlier. It's obviously powered by Apple Weather. There's also a bunch of different GIF options here that are fun, as I can press this and place it in there. I could put something funny next to it that says like, I'm not just antisocial. I'm not antisocial, I just don't like you. In this section on the bottom. And then I could also just put something at the bottom that would say something like, just kidding, I'll be right back. So I added some text there. It's pretty cool. Overall, you know, it's just some slight adjustments to everything. You can add any text you want here overall. Now, granted, I did kind of use that text in a funny way. This is basically the title and the subtitle, but I found it to be an interesting use case of it, which obviously would probably need to have your real name on the front end, but I can imagine myself not using this on the front end too much. I don't think it would be ideal for me all the time. So, I mean, I could, since I don't want to show it on the front end, hide it in this sense when I'm using it, or obviously I could actually put Dimitri Panici and then President Rice Productive. So then it would actually show properly here. I could obviously do that. I could put the time here as well, showcasing what time of the day it is, 3:23 p.m. my time. And I also obviously could change this to a custom background too. So then this would showcase on my meeting as well. And I think this is pretty cool because most times when my camera goes off, I'm actually just not at that camera, and it's not necessarily like I have turned it off. So I think this is a much needed adjustment and option for if I turn off my camera, because it's just weird when it just shows like, oh, look at me, I have my stopped camera. Like who likes this default like profile picture thing? It's kind of odd. Another small thing that's pretty cool is that there's also timers that you can set up. You can even put a topic on there like meeting section name, you know, like onboarding material, which kind of keeps us on track for how long this section is talked about. You can keep it minimal. You can have a pacer that's larger, and you can even connect your calendar to add alerts and meeting progress. So between all of the different visual improvements and everything that's in here, I truly think that Boom is a level up in comparison to your basic capabilities on Teams, Zoom, etc. If you want, you can get this actually for free, 100%. All you need to do is check out everything here for the free forever plan. And then for Pro, you can enhance it with a lifetime deal or a monthly or annual deal that has more standout options with branded overlays and the ability to supercharge your webcam with advanced controls, filters, and zoom plus pan. You also have the ability to choose from 30 plus premium themes and wallpapers, and enhanced screen share features are on the Pro plan that I showcased. So overall, I'm in a lot of meetings. This will make it more fun. I really hope that you like this video and that you try out Boom. If you're interested, please make sure to click the link down below to try it out. Thank you again to Boom for sponsoring this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.